What is up, YouTube? I know I haven't made a video in a long time because I just haven't had a video to anything to do. Haven't had any updates or whatever, and I'll be trying to make more posts. This is a 55 gallon. I have my two goldfish in here, and I would just want to cover some things about goldfish. You know, some basic care. I'll go more in depth with these guys. As I find more research about them, and what I have is one fancy and one common. So that's the fancy goldfish right there, and then you have the common goldfish, and he's a fast swimmer, and this tank itself is probably big enough for him, just him when he's adult size. But it takes like for them to max out, maybe 3 years, you know. So that's quite some time for them to get to their 9 inch, 10 inch state. Right now he's maybe 4 or 5 inches, and he's 2 3 inches. So they're quite small, and they're really small compared to the whole tank. Like he has plenty of room for now, but I think it's pretty small, even these guys. And a lot of people want to know if you can mix any kind of goldfish together, and the answer is yes and no, because if you have fancy goldfish with common goldfish, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult to care. I mean, you could have it just like I do, and now I see why. This is a pond fish. He wasn't supposed to get this big. I thought my turtles would eat him, but he ended up surviving, and now he's 5 inches. So I decided to set up his own tank, and I moved him from my 20 gallon, which was I saw was pretty small for him. This tank was set up only 2 days ago, and that's a golden dojo loach. If you were wondering, he gets about 9 inches. Um, these guys will, you know, once they learn to eat, because he has only been eating algae. When you drop your pellets, which whatever you like, this don't buy this. Don't, not for bigger fish. They don't eat that really. I feed them this, and it's actually like junk food to them. So I should probably get some of those granules or whatever. But this will work too, because it sinks. It's what I mainly feed them. Oh, I've been trying to train them to eat out of my hand, but when you put like 3 of them, right? You want to like, oh, maybe 2 for him and 1 for him. He'll eat all of them, and that's the thing that people say, that you shouldn't have your common goldfish with your fancy. And he's just resting right now. Trust me, he's very active. And the water is blurry because, like I said, this tank was set up to actually a day or 2 days ago, and the sand is still settling down. This is not clear at all. It's very blurry, and you can probably see that that's a heater. You're like, why do you have a heater? I don't like keeping my goldfish anything above 65. I have them at 60 degrees. This is very cold water. I believe this tank could have been anywhere from 50 degrees when I first set it up when they were inside. And that's fine. It might stress the fish out a little bit, but for real, this guy especially, this guy's being outside at maybe 50 degrees, 48 degrees water, and these guys are stronger, you know. They can take those temperatures, and they really won't mind as long as they have enough room to swim. And I noticed that all I had in my 20 gallon was these two guys, right? And I am telling you, if you have goldfish, always get a bigger tank. Like, these guys have so much room to swim, especially if you have a comet or a common goldfish. A fancy, that's totally different, but the common goldfish, they just swim like crazy. They need a lot of room. And I do have two 24 karat cloud, whatever their name is, and they're beautiful. They're awesome. They stay together. Let me just bring them to that side. Okay. They stay together and they're awesome. I want to get like maybe 4 more of those per tank. Um, the basic, what you should keep your goldfish at, and this applies to any goldfish, is around 60 to 68. I wouldn't put them at 70. That's, you know, it might shorten their lifespan, and you know, they might be more active, but they're also gonna poop a lot more. And these guys, you can tell. I mean, this is what I've seen. You can tell how good they're eating compared to their poop. You know, fish poop anyway. These little guys, you're not gonna be able to tell when they poop, but that guy, you're gonna be able to tell when he poops. Their poop is gonna be either crystal, like just a line. It's almost like a worm, and that's when they're not eating good. I found out their poop should be like this. Like that's small actually, but you see those little things right there? Not those, but the little like V-shaped W thing right there. That little line of that's poop right there. That little thing. I took most of it out, and I carry this with me to scoop it all out. Now you're gonna have to do this about every 2 days if you want to maintain your sand clean. This is just play sand. Don't even try to go to Petco or Pet Supply or whatever, your local pet shop, and get that freaking $5 bag of sand for 5 pounds of sand. I paid $3 for this sand. Actually, I have 100 pounds of sand in my aquarium. Let me just fix that. I have 100 pounds of sand in my aquarium. And you want to make sure you have a lot of sand, because especially if you have commons or comets, even fancies, like fancies actually, you don't need that much sand for them. The reason you want a lot of sand is because these guys are going to go through there and up and down, and you want to make sure you have no sharp things, because that's not there for underground, because they go through the plant, and this thing has been getting pushed around. This very beautiful plant right here has been getting pushed around like crazy, and it's pretty deep. I might have to put it deeper. So if you have fast moving fish, you might want to have way more sand, because as you can see how much sand I have, it's quite a lot compared to my hand. And like I said, this tank, even when they're all maxed out, you know, it might be enough. For him, that's gonna take some time, but this tank, the reason I only have 2 goldfish with me right now is because I plan on adding other things. Goldfish are always underestimated. They're like, you can have them in bowls and 10 gallons. You see, sorry, you see videos with people with 10-gallon tanks, and they have, wow, 7 minutes, okay. We're 7 minutes into the video. You see people with 10, 20, even 30 gallons, and they have like these small goldfish because they want to see them grow up. You know, this guy's he was like, I paid 10 cents for him. He's beautiful. He's a feeder fish. And I found out that if you're getting a feeder fish, some of them are koi. The ones with marks on them, with white marks on their head and their body, those are just missing scales. But from the turtle, that, you know, those are koi. Don't get those. I'm just lucky I didn't get a comet or koi. I am just lucky. I mean, he was never supposed to get this big. I mean, let's compare it. Yeah. So but you see people with 10, 20, you know, even 40-gallon tanks, like for real. They have them, and they have these small fish, these small goldfish, and they want to see them grow up, and they have like, let's say, 10 goldfish, 20 goldfish in there, you know, and in 10 gallon they may have 8 goldfish to fill it up to their max, because it's so small in the beginning. You don't realize that those goldfish are either gonna die of ammonia, or the guy's gonna end up giving them all away or returning them, because you see this guy and that guy, these aren't even maxed out. You know, these guys are already medium size. They're not maxed out. And I have them in a 55-gallon, just 2 goldfish. Now imagine 8, 10 goldfish in here. You know, and they're not even maxed out. They're not even halfway. I'm talking about both of them. They're maybe 1/3 of their length. And imagine having 8, 10, 12 goldfish in here. It's way too much, and your ammonia is going to be high. My filter does reach up to 70 gallons. You should always have your tank maxed out, because you know if you're gonna have your tank, you know, you may as well max it out to the most it can reach. And a lot of people like to put them with turtles, because you know it doesn't matter if they get eaten, because you know you're buying feeder fish and they end up getting bigger. But it's okay, you know. If you want to be aquatic like me, I mean, I've had turtles and stuff and reptiles, but I prefer to go all water, you know. And people say, okay, so I have goldfish, nothing can go with goldfish. People don't even know. I go to so many pet stores, they're like, the only thing you can have with goldfish is goldfish. I'm like, you're wrong, you know. These guys I got in Petco, and here's a close-up of them. I want to get a school of them, I can't find more. they're out. I bought the last two, so I have to wait like another 2 weeks for a new shipment in Petco. So these guys are really cool. They're 24 karat. It says 24K cloud something. I'm sorry about the name. I'll try to find out. I might put it in the description. They're really nice. Come on. Okay, they're really nice. I just do that to go. And you have your dojo loads, which these are pretty common. And if you don't find them, you can always order it. Their full name is Golden Dojo Loach, because their head does turn golden and their body's kind of like a pinkish golden. You know, so with those things, that, like if you have 10 of those, you know, 2 goldfish and a golden roach, you know, you're set for a 40 gallon and 30 gallon. You know, not for this guy. That's a different story. But this guy you need like a 50 gallon would be good. I have a 55. You know, for their entire life, man. Cause when you have a bigger tank, you actually get to see them swim, what they should be swimming. You know, if you have a smaller tank, they're not gonna swim what they should be swimming. And I do plan on putting more things in here, and let me tell you some of the options you have. I mean, this is a hood filter, and I can't go that much lower, cause you know. So I probably can't put a musk turtle in here, but if you have a filter that goes down, you could probably have it like right here and have like a dock for a turtle. Musk turtle, they're fully aquatic. They even sleep like, they won't sleep in the water, but they'll go up in the dock. They'll just have their nose above it or their head above. They don't even bath. I mean, they're really great things to have in your aquarium with goldfish. You know, it's nice. And people say they're tropical. They can be in cold water. You could put them in 60 degrees. They'll be fine. You know, another thing to add, go amphibians. Go with amphibians and fish. You know, amphibians and goldfish are awesome. Many amphibians are cold water. Some newts are tropical, but I'm talking about newts mainly, and some salamanders like an axolotl. That's what I'm gonna get. You know, you can get those. Sometimes they have them in pet shops, but you can also get them in expos. So you can go online and look for reptile shows or whatever, and they'll have them at expos. Only like, I went to the one last year and they had it. That was the first time they had it. They're becoming more popular in the pet trade, and you need plants in your aquarium. I mean, I barely have any. Like, this is not enough. I plan on putting maybe 10 more plants. And I am also growing my own. You know, you can buy these. They're fun to watch. See grow. And that's just duckweed, which I have in another tank too. Yeah, you can get that at Petco or whatever. And you know, they're just like these. You put them in, and it takes about months, 2 months, for them to grow into fully aquatic plants. And from there, what was that? From there, you can add on and see what you want. You know, newts. If you're going aquatic like this, fully aquatic, you can have cork bark in the top. But I wouldn't. You could put a newt, but really, if you want an aquatic species, an axolotl is the way to go. Do your research on that, or I might post a video later on when I get one. You know, those are really cool to get. Shrimp are really cool too. You're like, oh, ghost shrimp, bamboo shrimp, whatever. They're all tropical. There are actually some cold water shrimp. I forgot the name of them. You know, even this is actually a tropical plant. Whatever, it's fine. As you can see, I've been growing it.